Alright, this accessory in here is something that I should have gotten honestly a long time ago because it makes a huge difference. This is the KNF Mini Madbox Pro. And today I'm going to review this accessory for you, share my opinions and so on. But before I start, I do want to mention that I got this for free from KNF Concept in exchange of making this video. So first of all, in terms of price, this Madbox is $105 on Amazon, and if you buy it from KNF, it's $110. But if you use the code ROMA at checkout, you will get a 20% off discount, which will reduce the price to only $88, which is extremely cheap in my personal opinion for such a product. If you are interested, links are going to be down below. Now, here is what you're going to get in the box. Obviously, you will get the Madbox itself. Then you will get a hard shell carrying case to carry all of the equipment safely when traveling. You'll also get two 4x5.65 inches filter trays. And finally, you'll get 5 adapter rings ranging from 67 millimeters up to 95 millimeters. Moving on to design, first of all, the build quality of this product is fantastic. Everything feels pretty solid when holding this product in the hands. It's mixed with like plastic, some aluminum, and also carbon fiber for the flags. The only complaint I have is with the filter trays. They are made of plastic, and as you can see, they are somewhat like cheap feeling, but at least this Madbox is extremely lightweight. It's only 310 grams for the Madbox only, and then with a filter tray and like an adapter ring, it's only 358 grams, which is extremely lightweight, and it makes it possible to use this Madbox with like compact cameras, like for example my Sony ZV-E1 with some compact lenses. Now, a couple of other things I want to mention is that here at the bottom you have like a mini thread to mount this on basically like a tripod or light stand in case if you're going to use like a heavier lens and camera, so you don't have the Madbox basically sagging forward. And then if I'm going to flip the Madbox around, you'll see like a 3/8 inch thread in here and 2 1/4 inch threads, and also like a cold shoe mount in here in case if you want to mount extra accessories to the Madbox. But honestly, I would not recommend mounting anything heavier than like a receiver for a microphone or like a mini shotgun microphone, because it's going to, you know, basically create more sagging issues in case if you're going to use especially like a heavier lens. Now, the way this Madbox works is pretty simple. You take the base ring, I have one here for 62 millimeters, and then you screw it on the lens. And before I actually put the Madbox on, I do want to show you that in here you also have the same thread size, so basically 62 millimeters, in case if you want to mount circular filters on top of the base ring basically. So let's take for example my Freewell VND filter. I'm gonna take the base ring of that filter, screw it in, and this is basically like a 82 millimeter filter in here, and I can easily put it in while using the Madbox at the same time. All right, next you're basically going to unscrew this screw all the way out, and then you're going to mount this inside and just close the screw. And now you basically have the Madbox attached to the lens securely. And like I said, if you're going to open everything up, you can still access your circular filter relatively easily, as you can see. In terms of like the Madbox itself, as you can see, you have like 2 side flags, one on the right, one on the left, and each flag in here has like a mini screw, so you can make the flag tighter or looser if you want to. It's very easy to screw it in or out. It does get loose though the more you're going to move the flag, so you might have to retighten this once in a while. And then as for the top flag, it moves up and down obviously, like so, but also you can unscrew these 2 things in here and basically spread it out like so. As you can see, it is very easy to operate. It holds in place really well. Nothing really too complex, honestly. Yes, you might need to screw in these screws in here once in a while, and also maybe the screw here on top, but in my personal opinion it is fairly secure for what it is. And having all these flags all around the Madbox ensures basically that you will eliminate flares from any direction, from the sides, from the top. So that's pretty cool and versatile at the same time. Now, like I said, this Madbox supports filters with a 4x5.65 inch size. As you can see, I have a filter in here from KNF as well. This is a Black Diffusion 1.8, which will bloom your highlights and make skin tones slightly softer. The price for this is $100, but of course, if you're going to apply the code Roma at checkout, you will get it only for $80, basically 20% off. Link is going to be down below. And if you want to use it on this matte box, just going to open this little door in here, take the filter, put it on the inside, and then lock it in place in here, and then basically close the door to completely secure it, just like so. And now it's not going to go anywhere. But of course, something to consider is that you won't be able to access the circular filter because now this square filter is on top of the circular filter. But like I said, this matte box supports dual filter stacking option. So I'm going to take the second attachment in here, open this door again, and then just hold it in place and lock everything. And now basically I have three filters attached, if you will, like a circular filter, a rectangular filter, and then another rectangular filter on top, basically. So as you can see, it makes the matte box extremely versatile. You can combine between like circular filters, rectangular filters, and so on. It is very easy to like attach, remove, swap, and so on. Now, in terms of like performance, honestly, I find this matte box super easy to operate. You can easily move the flags around, lock them in place, and so on. And like I said, you'll be able to remove flares pretty much from every angle, from the top, from the sides, without any problems. And when it comes to vignetting, I tested this matte box with my widest lens, which is 16 to 35 millimeter f2.8 at 16 millimeters, and I did not notice any sort of vignetting issues and so on. And when it comes to the overall performance of like removing flares, removing ghosting, removing like hazing and so on, I find this matte box to work very well. Again, because you have such large flag sizes, and also they are positioned in pretty much all directions on the sides and also from the top. Honestly, if you are using like somewhat cheap lenses which have like contrast issues when you're backlighting your subject, something like this will definitely improve your shots. Like for example, right now I'm using like a DIY matte box just to reduce flares from the key light that I have in here, and this lens is somewhat expensive. It's about like $550 from Sirui, and if I would use like a cheaper lens, it will have even more flare issues. And by using something like this, it like improves the contrast, reduces flares, and reduces like the glare, hazing, and so on. So I think it's really worth the money because it's super easy to operate. The build quality is somewhat okay, except for this like plastic part, which is a bit janky. But overall, for like $88, I think this is a fantastic product. Again, if you are interested, I'm going to leave a link for it down below. Let me know if you know a product like a matte box basically that's better than this. Maybe I will check it out. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.